And now Reverend Macaulay will give us our lesson sermon. Well, good morning. Last time I spoke, I talked about how each one of us is someone special in our own way. Just like snowflakes, individual and unique, and tiny by itself. Taken as a group, snowflakes can have the power of a blizzard or an avalanche. The story we just heard this morning came to me by email. The passage, I suppose, that's the most powerful, or one of the most powerful passages, is, "God bless you," she said. "I know the Lord has sent you. The children and I have been praying that he would send one of his angels to spare us." As I've said before, I believe each one of us is special in our own way. We all have the power within to be angels in our own way to someone who is less fortunate than we are. That's what Christmas is all about. Unfortunately, there are lots of ideas of what Christmas is supposed to be about. We hear about expectations of retailers, potential for sales, as if Christmas is measured by the amount of corporate profits. If sales are down, we're not going to be able to have a good Christmas. Now take a moment to clear the mentality and take a look at your priorities. Are you more concerned with the banalities of Christmas? Or are you more concerned about being an angel to someone less fortunate? I first read this story with great interest because I found it easy to identify with a boy who thought the world had caved in on him because he wasn't going to get the present he had wanted for Christmas. When I look back at past experiences, I see that I spent, that is, wasted, a lot of energy wanting stuff that I thought would really have an impact on my life. I've talked in the past about how I desperately wanted a shortwave radio when I was in the 8th grade, how I worked all summer to save up the money, and when I finally got it, it sat as a trophy on my desk, collecting dust for years before I finally sold it. I had used it some, but for the most part, it didn't change my life as I had expected. I'm not really sure what I had expected, but I know that I put a lot of energy into that acquisition of that radio. And while it showed that I could accomplish whatever task I set out to do, I never used it as I expected that I would. There's lots of stuff in that category that I thought I really needed to improve or enhance my life. And after acquiring whatever it was, there was no improvement or enhancement as I had expected. Seems I still do that today, maybe not as often, but I do find myself getting caught up in what I think I want. I even find myself being jealous of others because of what they got if I make the mistake of comparing what they got to what I got. It takes a good story like this one and a few tissues to wipe away the tears to show us that the greatest joy in life comes from giving and not receiving. It seems that we need to be reminded again and again of this simple idea. We've all learned the lesson. We give. We experience the joy from seeing someone's response when they receive something they truly need. Then when we're tempted by something we see advertised or hear about somewhere, we temporarily forget the lesson we learned about the importance of giving to those less fortunate. So we read a story like the one we heard this morning, and we're reminded of that all-important lesson. It's easy to get caught up in desire for stuff rather than desire to help others. So this morning, let's not forget the lesson of this story. Let's remember that each one of us is special and that we each have the power to be angels in our universe. Remember the verse in Matthew chapter 5, verse 16, "Let your light so shine that others may see your good works and glorify the Father which is within." Empower yourself. You can be an angel to someone less fortunate than yourself. You simply need to take the time to remember that you are an angel. We're also reminded that Dr. Bassell used to say that it was our duty to be the best humans we can be. So if we extend that thought, then it's our duty to be angels to those less fortunate. In those special moments in life that show us that we have a purpose, it's those special moments in life that show us that we have a purpose and that our efforts are not wasted. I'm sure you have a similar story in your history. Finally, in Matthew chapter 6, verse 33, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Remember that at Christmas time, it's our duty and our privilege to give thanks for the gift that God gave of his giving us his Son. This year, choose to have a wonderful Christmas, a wonderful Hanukkah, or Kwanzaa, or whatever it is that you're celebrating. Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you for your attention this morning. And join me now in the acceptance statement. Now, may the light illumine our mind with wisdom. May love fill our heart with understanding. May the one life shine forth from our innermost being, so that we walk renewed in light, life, love, today, tomorrow, and forever.